Every day, we build the world around us.
But who's checking in on us?
Welcome to Built For Us.
The brand new podcast.
Built by construction workers, for construction workers.
It's our own honest space.
There's no scripts, there's no suits. It's just
Real talk about mental health, stress,
And showing up for each other.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ben, and we're here with James today. We're going to be talking on the Built For Us podcast about drinking culture in the construction industry and how destructive it can be. So, yeah, welcome to the pod, James.
Thanks, Ben. Great to be back with you again from a couple of months ago. Love it.
Yes, we're reunited.
We are.
So, yeah, today's topic is the drinking culture that it surrounds construction.
Yeah.
Now, I've obviously been in construction on the tools and off the tools in a different capacity. And I remember when I was younger and first in the tools, it was sort of mandated that you went to the pub after your shift, or, I mean, I think I even had my interview in a pub. I mean, now I don't drink at all. But back then, like I say, because it was mandated, you go out on a Friday after work or a Thursday after work, go on a bit of a session. And the amount of times I've sort of woken up in my work clothes or something from having a sesh and getting up and thinking, oh my God, what am I doing this, and going back to work.
Yeah.
But it's sort of the to-do thing to do. Even recently, I said to an old friend of mine, I bumped into on site. He was still on the tools. I was in my suit. He said, "I will have to meet up. There's a pub round the corner we all go to on a Thursday." So it's always been that way, and I don't think everybody, especially the younger generations, always want to do that. But I do feel like you have to go along, and if you say I want a Coke, you're going to be frowned upon.
Yeah. I totally agree. And I think it stems back from what I can remember in the 80s. I was born in 79, and all through the 80s, my dad was a joiner. And when he finished at 4:00, he wasn't coming at home till 7:30, 8 for his tea, and then he'll watch better telly and then go to bed, because everybody went to the pub when they finished work. It was the done thing.
Yeah.
And that culture through the trades. And that happened with me and my dad when I was 16 and I'd done the drinking on the parks thing. Obviously, as you know, Ben, I don't drink now either. And I'd done the parking and stuff, but I wasn't really bothered, really. I got pissed a few times, but I wasn't really bothered. But when I got a job on site as an apprentice electrician, it was my dad that said, "Right, son, you're going to be going to college and you're going to be with your work colleagues and you're going to be drinking. So let me take you to the pub and show you how to sort of act and stuff. But I'm not getting you a pint of lager," he said. "I'm getting you a pint of bitter." Oh, Ben, it was right. He didn't do it, and he didn't do anything for me. Drink didn't do anything for me until I hit 19. But that was my dad's reasoning, because I'm going in the construction industry, and that's what you do.
Yeah.
And that's the done thing. We went to the pub on a Friday. To be fair, the guys I worked with as the apprentice electrician, it wasn't a thing that they went to the pub. They probably did, but I never went with them, thank God.
Yeah.
But it's a massive, back in the day, I don't know what it is like now with the younger generation coming through, because I know a few friends of friends and stuff, their sons, they're not bothered about drink. If they ever went out with the family, they'd go, "Oh, you're having a Sunday roast. Do you want a beer with it? You're 17 now." And they go, "No, I'm all right. I'll just have a Coke." They're not, because I think they've switched it, the new generation, to vapes, I think weed, and I think mobile phones. These are all the addictions that they're focused on. It's not really the drink, but drinking in construction is massive. And it's a way, I mean, this is my forte. This is exactly what JT Motiv is all about. It's about helping people come off drink either permanently or bring it into a sort of successfully in their lives. So it's still there, but they're not using it as a habit, and they're not using it as a coping mechanism.
Yeah, and I think that's, I mean, because every time we try and meet up with the old school pipe fitters or all that sort of, try to do a sale, there is a thing called a Thursday Club now in construction in London.
Oh, right.
You'll go and meet these guys and they'll have a few beers and you'll buy them a few drinks and stuff like that. And then it escalates and they go on from there. So many companies want that from you as a salesperson, and then I turn up not drinking, and it does sort of put you on a back foot compared to some of the other companies that will go out and do the drinking and stuff like that. So it is a weird thing. But like you say, I think for me, it was a way of coping with the work because I wasn't that happy in construction.
Yeah.
So you used to come home and go for a drink with a thing and try and fit in to try and be more manly. Is it? I think like I was trying to fit into a man's world where I'm not really the manly type.
Yeah.
I got brought up by 2 women. So it was very difficult for me to be in that, but I did it. And then because I don't think I was enjoyed it. I think I enjoyed it at the time, but well, I thought I enjoyed it at the time, but looking back now, I did it, but I used to go to the extremes and drink through the pain of it to be like, yes, look how great I am. And then just back out. And then like try and make friends that way and stuff like that. So I know that even if you go on site now, it's more the old school and stuff like that. They'll come in on a Friday. They'll all have hangovers. They'll have a half day, or they'll want to finish early and go for a few beers. And you do wonder how, if people aren't expressing their feelings and they are doing that as a crux, or they've got to do it as I need a few beers after work to calm myself down. It's been a stressful day. I need a few beers. That becomes a massive, massive habit and a destructive habit in your life. I think people struggle with how to cope with the stresses of construction because it is so manic and so...
It is so manic with the pressures and the deadlines and the manly environment. Another thing I've learned as well since doing what I do is these construction companies, a lot of them work away Monday to Friday. So they go, when they've done the job, they go back to the digs. They have a few beers because they think it just decompress. Nice. Could you get that for the first week?
Yeah.
So it does that, but they don't. But then what happens is it gets into a habit for them. So they'll have. I'm not saying they get drunk. Some people have a couple of beers and they'll have a burger and chips or something and a couple of cigs or maybe a split before bed or whatever it may be. And it's not massive amounts, but they're using that coping to bring themselves down after work, and they're doing it every day. Now, if you do anything for 21 days consistently, it forms a habit in your brain, whether that's a good positive habit or a bad positive habit. So this is why when you go to the gym for like 10 days, 2 weeks, people say, I've got the bug. Yeah. It's because you're forming it into a habit in your brain. So you're forming that good positive habit of the gym. But same goes with a couple of pints and a burger and chips. If you do that on a regular, it all of a sudden it becomes habit. You associate stuff with in from work, up, showered done, downstairs to the bar, and it all becomes like in the unconscious. It's just something that you do. It's the habit. And what I do is I help people break that habit. We implement new stuff. I do feel the construction industry helps a lot more than it did with the mental health and stuff, because I do feel if people in the construction, we've got a mental health first aider. You know what? I don't think Barry, 45 years old, plumber, wants to go speak to Angela, a 19-year-old fresh out student, because she's a mental health first aider. Barry don't want to go and speak to Angela, 19-year-old, and say what's going on. He doesn't.
Yeah.
So even though they're saying, well, we've got this in place and we've got that in place, but it's not working.
No.
Not working.
They're trying so hard, because I see the posters up all the time. I see all the, like, you can talk to this person, that person. But if it's not your type of person, you're not going to go forward and speak to that person. Like you say, if you are a 19-year-old and it's Darren who's been slagging you off for having jokes with you for the last 3 years, you're not going to speak to Darren. So I think, like I say, they need people on site to watch what they're doing and see their habits. If they are going to the pub every day, think, hold on, they're coming in every day and they've got a bit of hangover. Because that was really interesting what you said about the 21 day. I remember when I was younger, I got into a bit of a bad routine and I was going nearly every day after work. And then I was coming home from work going, oh, I'm knackered, but I've got to go for a beer first and then I'll come home. And it's like you're subconscious. What time am I getting home? Because I've got to get to the pub.
Yeah, of course.
That's really interesting what you said with the 21 days.
So true. It's all stuff I've learned. It's not stuff I'm standing on other people's. I'm standing on the shoulders of giants. Yeah. Using all this information and going, I can apply that. I can apply that. And it's just a shame that as we know, the construction industry is one of the worst for suicide.
Yeah.
I think, don't quote me on these figures, 2022-23 was 719. It's 2 a day, roughly. I might be slightly out on that, but it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people. And it makes you think that, I think personally, and this is just my opinion, I reckon over half of them would have been some sort, they were using drink.
Yeah.
I do.
Without a doubt.
Mainly more because it's very readily available. Very accessible. It's very socially accepted.
Yeah.
You see, when you were saying before about if you go in the pub and get a Coke and people frown upon you, I did a LinkedIn post 6 months ago. 230,000 people saw it in less than a week. And it went something like this. When you say to somebody, I've given up smoking, they go, well done. When you say to somebody, you've given up hard drugs, brilliant. When you say somebody, you don't drink anymore, their reply is, wow, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
It's
so
the only drug you get judged for quitting. Drink.
Yeah.
People think you're not well. Oh, why are you still not well? No, actually, I'm the best I've ever felt.
Yeah.
As I speak to a lot of people, as I said before, and this is my forte. And people come to me and people think that it'll take them weeks and weeks and weeks to feel better once they've put the drink down. I have people texting me after like a week, 10 days going, I'm absolutely flying.
Yeah.
Just because they've put the drink down.
Isn't it?
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge. Alcohol is used. It kills stuff, alcohol. Pure alcohol kills stuff. And we're putting it in our bodies.
Yeah. It baffles when you speak about it and you have give up drink. You baffle when people have a drink and they go in all the session stuff. You are baffled by it, thinking the trouble it does to you and stuff like that. But it's a depressant as well when you're coming down from it. And I think that's what the trouble with the construction is. They're not getting time to. They're going out to work, smashing themselves hard to pieces all day long, having a few beers, not really contemplating what's going on in their lives, struggling with things, not really dealing with it, going back to work, going back down the pub again. It's just building until you get to a certain point where it just explodes. And I think this is where the suicides comes in.
Yeah, of course it is.
And who when you're having that explosion, who are you talking to? Who is it that you feel comfortable talking to? It's because normally you'd go down the pub and speak to your mate about a pint, but you that's the problem.
But you wouldn't really speak to your mate with a pint about what's really going on because your mate, because if you do start, your mate will go, shut up, you big Jesse. What another?
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. I'll have another. That's how it went for me back in the day.
Yeah.
James, shut up, mate. Listen, you're fine. Come on, you with the boys and all.
Yeah.
Get him another beer. That's how it went. It's amazing what you just said there about the guys and they're going for a beer every night and stuff, and they're getting further and further down. You see, what happens is when they get into that negative behavior, like we've spoken about before, it all of a sudden it just automatically gets deeper and deeper and deeper.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it gets that deep that maybe they're smashing in 3 or 4 pints a night, maybe they're smashing in 8 pints a night, maybe they're getting blooded every night, but they get that much in a rut. The two things happen. It just feels like the normal life. You see, if you're in a room and it smells of shit, after a while you get used to that smell. You just do. As soon as you leave that room and you breathe fresh air in, you think, what the frig was I doing? Stinks in there.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Your life becomes that's a bit of a shit analogy, but your life becomes normal. You don't know any different. It's like if you were to put a frog in boiling water, it would jump out.
Yeah.
If you were to put a frog in cold water and boil it slowly, it doesn't jump out because it gets used to it, and then dies. It's the same thing. You're drinking a few pints every night and you're going down the scale until all of a sudden you're at a point where you go, I can't get out of this.
Yeah.
And then your brain has you over and says, well, the only normal solution to this is to top yourself. That's the only normal solution because you're that deep in it.
Yeah.
It's a very you don't see a way out. It's a very, very slow process.
And I think I think myself, I think I went through that process because I was drinking and like, oh, Ben's the life and soul of the party. He's always up for a beer. He's always
I always
doing
got
this.
that.
And like I say, it was only when I stopped drinking, and this was about 3-4 years ago, really, like properly stopped. When I started looking at myself and thinking, okay, I need to get myself better. What steps can I do this now? Because I've always been depressed. I've been on different antidepressant tablets. Nothing really worked because I was still having a drink.
Yeah, of course.
I want that life. Why am I not out partying? But since I've done that, I've now gone to therapy, got help with that. My life's clearer. My brain works better. I don't wake up with hangovers and stuff anymore.
Yeah, mega.
So after a while, and like I say, I've started a whole new career, business, everything on the back of this, and I've got confidence. I never had confidence. And although can't class myself as an alcoholic, I still feel now, if I go to a pub, if I have a few beers, I don't know if I'm going to be able to stop in time.
Yeah.
I can't just have a couple, I don't think. And it worries me. So I just go, right, I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
And it's still in the back of my mind, even though I don't think I was, like I say, an alcoholic. It's still there in my head.
Yeah.
Thinking, go for a few beers, you'll be all right. But I know what will happen. I'll have a few beers and then I'll go, oh, this is nice. I missed this.
Great feeling.
Yeah. So I just thought, right, avoid it. And like I say, people do frown upon it. So why? What's the matter with you? You on tablets? What's the matter? But I remember years ago when I was about 19, I got a new girlfriend. And I was drinking quite a bit, nearly every day, all weekend and stuff like that kind of thing. And I wasn't really being a great boyfriend, but everyone's like, yeah, you're a lad, you're being okay. But I've never been that laddie where you go out and cheat on your girlfriend or sleep with loads of women and stuff like that. And I was thinking, what am I doing? I'm not giving my best. So I tried giving up drinking then, but the peer pressure then at 19, they were like, what's the matter with you? I didn't give up like 2 weeks. And they're like, don't be an idiot.
Yeah.
So like saying I'm 47 this year. So I know the sort of the age and above now. So I know that sort of when that went into my construction, I was estranged from my dad when I was a young age, and sort of we got back and had a bit of a relationship, and he was in the construction, and a lot of our relationship was built on, oh, amazing, we're going down the pub after work and all this sort of stuff. But he was very much, get with the drink. It's what you're supposed to do. This is the life. It's not bad to drink every day. I don't drink in the morning, so I'm fine.
Yeah, that's a myth.
Yeah, exactly. And like I say, as soon as I sort of started looking at that and thinking, this isn't the life I want, sort of things started falling into place. But like you said, people get so in it that they can't see that, and then they drink more because they get deeper and deeper, and it starts to become more regular. They drink more than the couple of pints, and they're drinking at weekends, and they're drinking in their spare time. It's just such a spiral, and I hate seeing it from people because you can see it from afar now. If you're clear in your head, you can see people. But like I say, you can try and point them in a direction, but when they're in that, they need to find their own way, which is a difficult thing, isn't it?
Definitely. When you're saying that, there's three myths that I just thought of off the top of my head that people justify to themselves why they haven't got a drink problem. Yeah. And the first one is, you just said it, I don't drink in the morning, so I can't have a drink problem.
Yeah.
The second one is, I don't drink spirits when I drink beer, so I can't have a drink problem. And the third one is, I don't drink every day, so I can't have a drink problem.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, just because those three things doesn't mean that you've got a drink problem. It's what it does to you. It's what it does to you once you start. That's if you've got a drink problem. So for me, my story is extreme, where I ended up homeless 16 years ago through drinking drugs. And I was turning yellow on the streets. My whole family disowned me. I tried to get into recovery. I tried to get sober for 5 years, in and out the recovery rooms, gymming it, church, all these outside things to try and get me clean and sober, and nothing worked apart from the recovery rooms. But I had to have enough pain. You see, you're not going to do anything with anything in life if you've not had enough pain. Like you at 19, you'd not had enough pain, so you lasted 2 weeks, then you went back on it. Yeah. Whereas me at 31, I'd had enough pain where I wanted to die. I physically wanted to. I remember the jumping off place, Ben. And I remember I'd been on a 5-day bender. I was in my flat. I was crying my eyes out. I drank every bit of alcohol in the flat and bought more. And I remember thinking, I don't want to live, but I don't want to die either. And I was at that crossroads and I thought, I've got to. And then I remembered that there was a woman in the family, a friend in the family that she was 10 years clean and sober. And I thought, I've got to ask her. And that was my first reach out for help. I've got to ask her. And then I asked for the right help. She then loved and guided me into the recovery rooms. Hence why August this year, 16 years without a drinking drug.
Wow. And
this is why when one person like me speaks to another that's got a drink problem, and they go to the doctor, and the doctor does what he did with you. Yeah, you're depressed. See you later. Then easy for them. There's a prescription. Yeah. I was on all the tablets. I weren't depressed. I didn't have anxiety. I had massive hangovers and a drink problem and a sniff problem. That was my problem. The doctor can't treat that. And it was only by me going to the recovery rooms and I'd seen people that were like me, that were 5, 10, 15 years sober, a year sober, thinking, there's got to be something here. There's got to be something here that works.
Yeah.
But when I speak to people that have got drink problems, within 5 minutes of talking, they go, you know what you're fucking talking about, don't you? Because I've lived it. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not reading from a textbook.
Yeah.
I've got 30 years lived experience of alcohol and drug addiction. And people go, fuck, he knows what he's talking about. And what better person to talk to than somebody that's been through it and come through the other side?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what you need. And it's just these people that I know you do a lot of work with, talks and stuff like that. And when you hear that, there's going to be one or two at least in the crowd go, that's me, that. I can see myself, I can feel that. And it makes you feel more human. It doesn't make you feel like you're on your own.
Not at all.
And that's the trouble with construction, because you are surrounded by so much of it. And everyone is doing it still. It's hard to step back because, like you say, they do try, oh, come for a pint, you'll be all right. I mean, I've seen guys that have just had operations. They've got all sorts of stuff, and they're I'll have a beer, that'll get rid of all that. And I've tried to, I try and wear my heart on my sleeve everywhere I go now.
Yeah.
Try to be open with my feelings, so people can feel they can talk to me and stuff. So I get a lot of people. I've had people. There was a young lad I used to work with, and he was on. He loved a pill.
Yeah.
And he was at the weekend. He'd go out on the pills, and he'd start drinking, and he phoned me up one night and just crying his eyes out. And he said to me, Ben, I've got no one else I can talk to. I feel like I can talk to you, and just broke down about all this stuff. And I was like, well, I can help you, but you need to help yourself with this, with that, that side. But then he was like, yeah, I really get that. A couple of days we were working together, we were having nice chats, and it become nice. And then his mate said, I've got your ticket for Fogness this weekend. Boom, gone again.
It's straight.
So you're like, okay, that's damaging you. Yeah, I know, but I need that at the moment. So
this is where people fall down. I speak to a lot of people, and this is where people go on a Monday. They go, that's it. I'm done. I'm really done. I promised the missus on Friday I'd never do this again. I've done it again. This is like every single weekend now. I'm really not doing it. They're hungover to shit. They've got to go in work. They've got no more money left. They've messed up with the whole family, and they're determined, and they go, I'm going to do better. Don't do anything about it. They just say, I'm going to do better. By Thursday, 3 days of resting, eating, drinking loads of water, eating food, working again. Thursday, what's called the ego rebuilds. And Thursday comes, this was my experience, and it's a lot of people's experience I speak to. Thursday comes, and the mate goes after work on the construction site. So how far are you coming for a pint?
yeah.
Now, deep down, he should go, no thanks. You know what happens when I drink?
Yeah.
And that's what he should, or he should look at this pile of shit that he's got next to him of all the broken relationships, financial loss, kids breaking the kids' hearts again, sweet promises. He's a big pile of shit here of all the wrong that he's done when he drinks.
Yeah.
And this was me. I'd be like, I'll come for one bottle of bud.
Yeah.
And I'd go for a bottle of bud. Next thing you know, it's Sunday.
Yeah.
Because once I start, I can't stop. That's me. That's extreme. But if you're in the physical habit of it's gone from 2 to 3 a night to 4 a night, and you have to have those beers, I'd say you've got a bit of a physical dependency.
Yeah.
If you're questioning it in your head, so if you're drinking going, It's not right. And I'm sorry, I'm speaking to the viewers now, people that have listened to this podcast. If you're having a beer and in your mind, you're going, it's not right, this. It doesn't feel right for me to do this. If you're questioning it, you've got a problem. Yeah. Because people that don't have problems don't question the drinking.
And it's funny you say that, because I've had that question for so many years in my head. This isn't right. This doesn't feel right. I shouldn't be doing this. And it was in my mind for years and years. But you drink through it, you silence the noise, don't you? And you go through it. But I know that what construction is doing now, there's help signs up saying if you've got a drink problem, here's a signpost. They're trying to be stricter on site with people drinking, coming in with hangovers, stuff like that. What is there that we can do to? Can you breathalyze people on site a day after, because they do with driving? It's so difficult, isn't it, to catch these people and try and help these people?
Very difficult. So what I'm against, me personally, me and the missus both do JT Motiv when we go on site. And we did a talk for a company. I won't say what company, last year before, 2024. And our talk was 10 minutes late because they decided to do a drug and alcohol test that morning. First two people positive, kicked off site.
Yeah.
And I said to the girl, I know the girl, is it not better? Bring them in here. Let them listen to my story for 40 minutes. I might help one of them. Then let them go. Can't do that, James. They've got the kicked off site. You're not helping anything.
That's right. How right, isn't it?
Because they're going to go home. They've lost the job. They've got no financial security. What they're going to do?
Yeah.
Drink.
Yeah. That's crazy, isn't it?
We're against that at the minute. I'm trying to speak to companies. This is what I'm doing at the moment, speaking to big companies to put something in place for the first month to see if we can help and save a few lost souls, should we say. But going back to what you said about when people want help on site, then one or two people that ask for help because they've got a problem. We were on our last talk that we did was in Germany. We went to Frankfurt a month ago and did 4 talks. And the last talk on the last day, we'd said byes and everyone had clapped and shook me hand and all that, and they'd gone out the room. We're packing up the room. I get an email. I'd not even left the room, get an email. Hiya, JT, can you help me, please? I've got a problem with drinking drugs. Wow. I'd not even left the room. The guy was sat in the room 5 minutes before. I was like, and that's why I do what I do.
Yeah.
Powerful.
This is what this podcast's about, isn't it? Trying to spread a word, trying to give different points of view, trying to give people hope that there is help out there. It can change. You don't have to change your life too much to change it either. You've got to want to, but there are people out there that do generally want to help you. Massively. There are people that will listen. There's help from people like ourselves. Yeah, there is always people you can reach out to, and it's just reaching out to the right person, isn't it?
Definitely. If anybody who's listened to the full episode and you think you've got a problem and you want to talk, if you leave a comment, just put in the comment, start. Put in the comment, start. And the producer of this will get in touch with myself or Ben, and we can reach out to you on a personal level, all confidential, and we can speak and hopefully just have a chat and put a plan in place for you. So comment, start in the comments, and one of us from the team will get in contact and give you the help, love, and support that you need.
Amazing. And that's what, like I say, that's what this is for. Even if you give it a listen and it sparks something in you that in a couple of weeks' time you feel the same, it's the same thing again. But there's more podcasts, there's more episodes of this coming out. The more you listen to, hopefully the more it'll become clear and help you'll get. Is there anything else for you to say on the subject, James, at all?
So we'll end on this. Just one question. In the viewers listening to this, what's the one bit of advice you would give somebody if they're on their edge and they want to give up the drink, but they're unsure? What would you say the one bit of advice?
It's tough enough. Do it. It's no shame in it. It's people. If people are saying it to you, you're with the wrong people. You need to change. You need to change your people. If there's not the support from the people that are with you and they mock you, and if they can see you and you've said to them, I've got a problem, I don't want to drink anymore, I feel it's wrong. If they're telling you something different, you're with the wrong people. It's time to get new.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
New culture, even if it's you feel like you're getting bullied into it, if it is construction based, go and see a supervisor, go and see someone away from your company and say, look, can I get help?
Yeah.
This is how I feel. And there is support all out there. Reach out to someone that knows what they're talking about, and someone will point you in the right direction. Like I say, if it's one of us two or one of the other guys that do this podcast, just reach out and be strong and be positive with it.
Yeah, I love that. Just to reiterate on what Ben said, just reach out to somebody, whether it's a family member, a work colleague, a loved one, you don't have to say the right thing. You don't have to think what to say. Just say these 3 words: I need help. And let the other person start the conversation about why you need help and what with. And then they'll hopefully put you in the right direction. Listen, Ben, thank you so much for this podcast. I'm James JT Motiv. It's been an incredible session. We could have talked for a lot more.
Yeah.
A lot more. This subject is it isn't ending there. There's going to be a part 2 on this subject, I promise. But I just want to say thank you to all the listeners for watching Built for Us podcast by construction workers, for construction workers, powered by JT Motiv.
Thanks, James. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thanks for viewing this episode. We really appreciate your support. Remember, follow us, subscribe, share with a mate, join us live. Built for Us. Let's build something stronger together.